What should you do if your twin flame, your divine masculine, is much younger than you? And I'm not talking about 1-2 years, I'm talking about 10 or even 20 years. This is a common situation among twin flames, common as much as being in different continents. We know that all the time. Like, twin flames are often found in different continents, different countries, different areas of the same country. But age gap difference, it's also another common situation between twin flames. So why does it happen? What can you do about it? How can you heal it? In this video, I will guide you to understand the core reason and why in the end it's not important, and guide you to resolve this within yourself so that you can heal it and move forward into your union. There is a deep reason why this manifested in your reality. I know that it can be deeply triggering and deeply painful when we experience this. I am a twin flame coach in union with my twin flame, and I am a student of Twin Flame Universe. And between me and my twin flame, there are 8 years of difference, meaning that he's 8 years younger than me. So I know what I'm talking about, and I can really support you in this if you're moving through this, because this was one of the first things that we moved through into our union as soon as we met. So if you're a woman and your twin flame is younger than you, I'm talking about 10 years, it can be as triggering as it is for you, right? So in my case, I'm talking about 8 years, which is deeply triggering because I'm 32 and you can do the math, it's 24, right? So why is this manifested in your reality and in your union? So the first thing is that you need to remember that your twin flame is a mirror of you. You are the same consciousness, the same soul split into two bodies. And you are moving through this experience because this is your twin flame journey, it's your ascension journey, it's your healing path, which means that you are on a healing journey. And we know that deep wounds and deep limiting beliefs and triggers, they are not love, so they need to leave your vibration so that you can ascend. This is the core truth of why we experience a lot of blocks and upset into our twin flame union. Now, another core truth that you need to remind yourself all the time is that you and your twin flame are one. You share the same consciousness, meaning that at the core, there is not one that is more mature than the other one. And now, why am I talking about maturity? So, as feminine, when we experience our twin flame much younger than us, what are the first things that come to you? What are the biggest upsets that come to you? What I found is that there are two main triggering things, and I will go in depth into that and help you heal those and guide you into the healing of this. Because once that you overcome these blocks, you can move forward. Because these are kind of like the barrier towards your union. If you don't overcome this stupid upset stuff like age difference, country, cultural differences, you cannot go deeper into a union. So these are the first barrier that you need to break in order to move forward. And so the age thing, the core upset about it is maturity. So if you're a woman, you probably have dealt with very immature men your whole life, men that were absolutely not in their divine masculine, that were not able to treat you and honor you as you deserve, right? And so we have, as women, we have this huge idea and trauma about, not trauma, but this huge upset, okay, with men that are very immature. Like, I don't know you, but for me, like I've always dealt with very immature guys growing up in relationships. And also all the men that I met in my life. And so I've always looked for older men, much older. Like, I had this idea that I wanted to be with a much older man, because at the core, there was the idea of wanting a mature man. So that is what I was looking for. So maturity may be one of the big upset within your vibration, within yourself, which is why your twin flame brings that into a union, because the twin flame is meant to bring out all of your deepest triggers so that you can heal them and go deeper into love with yourself and with your twin flame. So trigger is maturity, and it comes again from having had relationships with men or being close to men that are very immature in their masculinity. And what do I mean with immaturity? Not only just being immature by themselves, like just immature, but also in the way they relate to the feminine, to women. So for example, something that was very deeply upsetting for me was the fact that whenever I felt upset, whenever I felt vulnerable with my feelings or not safe, the masculine, the person I was with, would never make me feel safe. So would never give me that safety. They would make me feel even more anxious, even more upset and scared in the relationship. So they would never give me that safety that I desire to feel safe in my feminine, because they were not able to hold space for me and to understand the complexity of emotions, right? They were not able to deal with their own emotions, therefore they were not able to deal with your emotions, with my emotions. That is what we can experience as immaturity from men, right? And especially also from our father. So for example, the same happens with the father figure, right? It comes down always to that in the end. So if your father was not able to really support you and hold space for you, you have experienced this probably your whole life. And so in my case, yeah, my father, like, he was deeply upset if I was upset. So if I was upset, and I'm talking since when I was a kid, like not now. So growing up with a male figure that is not able to hold space for you, you never felt that deep safety within yourself that grounded you, that made you feel safe in your emotions, because the feminine represents the emotional body and the masculine represents the container, holding space for the feminine, right? And so if the feminine growing up did not feel safe into handling with the masculine, you have probably believed a deep wounds within yourself of not feeling safe within yourself in a relationship with a masculine. And therefore, you have always attracted, because of that wound, males that were not able to hold space for you and that were not mature enough to honor you and respect you for what you actually needed. And what can be the response to that? The response could be that of looking for older men, because you subconsciously think that an older man would be more mature than another immature guy, right? For example, my first twin flame was 7 years older than me. That was something that I really loved about that. It made me feel younger. It made me feel younger than my actual age, because I saw that there was the gap, right? But in the end, what I found is that he was even more immature than what I actually thought, because remember, the maturity, it's not about the age, it's about who you are at the core, and the age cannot tell absolutely how mature you are, cannot tell how much a man is mature. And so, how many men have you met that are in their 40 or even 50 and they are like children, they act like kids? I've met many, like the majority of people actually. They are not in their divine masculine, they're not in their grounded masculinity, and therefore they are like children. They think they may be, awakened or whatever, but they behave as children. Like, they don't have integrity, honesty within themselves, don't have maturity within themselves to make them an actual male figure you could actually trust and feel safe with. Having said that, if you have this big, much immaturity issue within yourself, your twin flame will reflect that to you, not only by being much younger than you, or even more, or even 5, how much it needed for your journey, it doesn't really matter. But they may also express some behaviors that trigger your belief that men are immature and that cannot be there for you. But the thing that you have to remember is that if that's your twin flame, they are exactly like you. So they have the same, I can assure you, they have the same consciousness level and the same maturity level that you have, because they're your twin flame. Because with your twin flame, you always grow and develop together. So when you're dealing with these things, the way to heal it is simply to see through the illusion of the upset that is bringing up. And the illusion is that you think they make you believe the upset is that, oh my God, they're so immature, oh my God, they're so young, how they can never be there for me, they cannot really be the partner that I wish to have. But don't believe the illusion, because that's the illusion. That is simply what the ego is telling you. The ego, remember, is separation, is what fuels separation. It's because of the ego that we are separate from a twin flame. Because in truth, we are one and we are always the same. And so, for example, if they trigger you with very maybe immature behaviors, remember, they're there to trigger you, to trigger your wound. And so, don't believe what they're saying, what they're doing. Go within and heal through those feelings that are coming up. For example, not feeling safe. Just feel through everything that comes up with that specific behavior. How do you feel about that? Do you feel not supported maybe? Do you feel like that they're mature? Find those parts of you that are probably feminine parts within you that need a mature man, and give that safety and security to yourself. That's how you heal it, right? With a mirror exercise. And I always link everything in the description box so that you can find all the resources that you need to heal yourself and your vibration. So whenever an upset comes about immaturity with your twin flame, first of all, remember, they're your twin flame, which means that everything that they do is for you. It's meant to help you grow. So don't react on that, because when you react over the upset that they're bringing, you are creating more discussion, more upset, and more separation in the end. Because then you will create more things to heal through. You don't want that. So simply take it as for what it is. Relax, go into your peace, and move through the feelings until you feel peaceful about that. Don't feel the illusion, because that is the ego wanting to keep you separate from your good, from your love, from your twin flame, right? If you believe the illusion, you will always remain separate. If you believe, oh, they're younger than me, or they're immature, that's not the truth at the core. And why do I say that? So this is something that manifested immediately in my union, because that was the first upset we moved through, literally the age thing. And my twin flame has said, and having had said very immature things at the beginning, and he did some immature behaviors towards me that really trigger me very deeply. So what happens is that because it's your twin flame, they remember at the core they're not immature. They are like you. They're simply triggering you. And so the moment that I healed through that, he immediately mirrored back to me. He understood immediately how silly it had been, how immature it had been, and he immediately came back to the truth because I healed that within myself. So because your twin flame is a perfect mirror, they cannot mirror something that is not within you. Your twin flame will always match you there. If you heal, that will always meet you in your healing as well as in your upsets. So your only job is to heal those upsets, the way that you feel about it, and feel peaceful about that, And your twin flame will automatically align with that. I was really surprised actually by how he immediately aligned to that by showing me how actually mature he was about the upset that we were having, about the discussion we were having. There were many things. Some things. Anyway, I was very surprised, positively surprised that in the moment I healed that within myself, he immediately aligned in his own process because we are different persons and we work through the things in different ways, but in the end you always align by showing how mature he was about that, right? And that's because you did not believe the illusion. Because you said, oh wait, this is an illusion, I don't believe that. That's the ego that is trying to say, oh, they're immature, they're, whatever, right? The ego would want you to believe that and to say, oh, they're not mature enough for me. Maybe your twin flame will even say stuff like, oh, I'm not good enough for you, this stuff. Don't believe them. Stay grounded into your truth, because that's not the truth. If you stay grounded into your truth, into your peace, and you move through your feelings, you will move out of the upset very easily and very quickly. And they will meet you back there. They will show you that you actually were right, because they will see the truth within themselves immediately, the moment you see it within yourself, because it's one consciousness. You have to remember, you are one consciousness. If you perceive them as immature, they will behave as if they were immature, even though they're not. It's simply to trigger that belief that you have within yourself. But because they're your twin flame, you know that they're not. You see their soul, you know who they truly are, and therefore, if you see them for who they truly are, it will not reflect that to you. This is for you to break through the veil of illusion and to see the truth about your twin flame and see that actually they are mature as you and they are exactly like you. Really, I've met so many people that are in their 40 and 50 and they're so much more immature than my twin flame that is 24. I mean, my twin flame is like me. Yeah. So maturity can also be an upset about your own immaturity. For example, this situation also triggered not only, the upset about men that are immature, but also upset about myself being immature, having done stupid things in my past, stupid choices, stupid decisions. So I was very triggered about myself, my own triggers. Remember, the mirror exercise is meant to find where you did the same things as your twin flame is showing you. So using the mirror exercise, you can heal this also by forgiving yourself and having compassion for yourself for having been immature in the past, right? So that was also another upset. And then I would say the last big upset that this core wound, core situation brings in twin flames is that because your twin flame is younger than you, we as women may feel old. We may feel old when we don't want to feel old, and may trigger that ancestral karma, ancestral trauma that we women have, that we have to be young in order to be attractive by men. In order for men to be attracted by us. So that was another huge upset I moved through. I didn't feel good enough or worthy enough to be wanted by my twin flame that was younger than me. And so that is also something that you can heal very easily with the mirror exercise, because in the truth, because it's not true. At the core, it's not true. With your twin flame, it's not about the external appearance. It's not about what you look like. It's not about that. It's a soul connection. The love will always be there. It doesn't matter what looks on the outside. Also, by the way, when twin flames come together, remember this, and you can easily see by twin flames that together. When twin flames come together, something happens. They stop aging, because the love that you cultivate with your twin flame is a divine love. It's pure life source that feeds you every day. You are immersed every day in the pure divine source love of your twin flame union. It's kind of like, I don't know if you know, but if you look at twin flames that are together since years, they are the same since when they got together. So you can forget about the aging thing, because the aging thing comes from a bullshit that we were told that with time we age. First of all, time is an illusion, doesn't exist. So remember that The only now exists. And if you always feel like you feel now, you will never age, because you age out of the belief that you're aging, right? So if you don't believe that you're aging, if you believe that if you continue to cultivate your inner health and how you feel and your joy and your passion and your divine love, like, you will age so slowly in your life that you will not even notice, really. So the age is a concept from the old world that you can throw in the trash, forget about it, never think about it again. It's a bullshit. You can just forget about it and it will never really affect you. It's an illusion. It's not real. You simply have to move through all the feelings with a mirror exercise, love yourself there, and understand at a deeper level that it's just an illusion. It's not real. It does not affect you or your twin flame union. I really hope this brought more clarity and brought you more peace around this topic, which I know that's very triggering and very upsetting for twin flames to move through. If you need support on your twin flame journey, if you want to work with me, you find all my links in the description below, as always. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.